Hi everyone, it's Tuesday, March 10th, and we continue to see elevated oil prices, which is putting pressure on the price at the pump. You can see from the chart at the top that the average cost for a gallon of gas has gone up by 55 cents since the Iran war began. And in the detail on the bottom, you can see that over 40 cents of this happened just in the past week. So, how long will it take for this to show up in official inflation reporting? When it comes to fuel, there are two ways that it shows up in inflation: a direct effect and an indirect effect. First, the direct effect happens because gas makes up 3 to 4% of the CPI basket. So we can expect that these increases in gas prices will show up in next month's CPI reading, but it will take up to 3 months for the full effect to show up in CPI. And the longer the conflict continues, the higher oil prices will go and the higher gas prices will go. So we might see a direct effect on CPI inflation for the foreseeable future. The indirect effect will come through increased costs of transportation, and this impacts a number of industries. It will show up in public transportation, trucking and freight, airlines, shipping, and delivery services. These costs are passed through to consumers in the form of higher travel prices and higher goods prices, and especially goods that are handled through retailers and wholesalers, because the entire supply chain will have increased costs of fuel. This indirect effect takes a little more time to show up in inflation because it depends on how quickly businesses pass it through to consumers and how much of it they pass through to consumers. So these impacts likely won't show up in CPI for up to 3 to 6 months. In my 2 cents, it's not a matter of if we're going to experience increased inflation due to the increased cost of fuel, but a matter of how long and how big will the impacts be, because there's no turning back from the damage that has already been done. If you like my content, please like, share, and follow, especially on other platforms, and let me know how this is impacting your life in the comments.